I wanted to go and talk about one specific person who did in fact perish in this massacre, but whose death hasn't been taken into account by the charging documents. There is no charge for this particular victim. This person was the unborn child of Mrs. Moser. Mrs. Moser is young Veronica Moser's, the youngest victim, the 6-year-old victim's mother. She is currently in the hospital. She had numerous gunshot wounds to her abdomen. It's expected that she will survive. She might be on life support for the rest of her life, based on statements that the family has given us so far. She miscarried her pregnancy, and that is something that was not made into the charging documents. There's no murder for that pregnancy. There's no murder for that fetus. The reason for this is because the Colorado State Legislature this April 2012, passed a law saying that they would not criminalize homicide of fetuses. They said that that was a thinly veiled attempt to limit abortion rights. But now you see how that kind of a decision plays out. Whatever your feelings about the abortion debate may be, here's one victim who is not going to get, as Mr. Sheahen says, her day in court, because this victim was not part of the charging documents.
I personally think that it should be once a child has been born, because then there is no bright line, and the line does get fuzzy on when life begins. And this is not a moral discussion. This is not a philosophical discussion. This is a criminal matter, and all courts have to follow the same set of rules. And therefore, I believe that the legislature correctly decided that life, in terms of charging for a murder, is once a baby, a fetus has been born. Mr. Sheahen?
All I can tell you is I defended a deputy sheriff years ago who was charged with murder for killing a fetus. And he was convicted, and he did some substantial time.
And that was in California?
That was in California, an eight-month fetus.
So your position is it was really a political stand that they took?
No, the state legislature had a bill on their desk saying that, you know, life begins at conception, not at birth, and therefore, you know, we should prosecute anyone who's killing fetuses. I mean, it was clearly a part of the abortion debate, which rages in Colorado. My point is simply that now we're kind of seeing the effect of those decisions in action, because the Colorado Penal Code has it that murder can only be for someone who is born and alive. When we have an unborn victim, such as in this case, that person will not get charged. Here, as Mr. Sheahen said, we have 146 counts. There is no lack of work for the prosecutors in this case to do, no lack of work for the defense team. We don't need another count. But this is one voice that isn't going to get heard, and one other person who won't get their day in court.
We would love for all you viewers to weigh in on this debate and share with us your thoughts. Wild About Trial. This is a very interesting issue on whether or not Mr. Holmes should have been charged with the murder. Please weigh in. Thank you.